So Big Ed here, and today is going to be the final assembly video for my custom Remington 700. First thing is, here's my Remington 700 right here, and I have to remove the bolt from it, so it is unloaded. And today we are going to, this is the SWFA scope we put on here, the TPS rings and base, that's all finished. And today we're going to swap the stock. We're going to put the HS Precision stock on. And we are going to put the Wyatt 6+1 round detachable magazine system. They call it a 5-rounder, but it is not. It's a 6-rounder. And then we're going to put that stock on it right there. HS Precision. So the first step is I'm going to make sure we're going to go ahead and disassemble the rifle. Basically, it's pretty simple. It's basically we have the receiver, which is this unit right here, is bolted in with 3 bolts. You got the trigger guard, you got a small one right here, and then 2 larger size Allens right there. And we're going to go ahead and remove it. And we're going to chop some. So yeah, there is the trigger guard right there. You can see. Then I'll save the old hardware. We got 3 bolts right here. We got the little Allen wrench one. And we got the 2 bigger ones right here. The short one goes in the front of the rifle, the long one goes into the back. And so then basically the stock will just slide right off. And this is also a blind magazine system on this rifle. This was the Varmint 700 ADL. Blind magazine means there's no floor plate. The only access to the magazine is through the action of the rifle. So we have the follower right here. You can see there's no floor plate. It just basically sits on the bottom of the stock right there, and then just with that little leaf spring right there will push up against your rounds. And the next thing we want to do is take out the box. And you'll see there's a little Phillips head screwdriver right there. And we're going to go ahead and remove that, and our box will come right out. So you see that just pops right out. So we have all of our old parts right here, and we're going to go ahead and save these parts. You know, the other thing you could do is you can sell these on eBay, you know, or Gun Broker. These are great little eBay parts. They'll sell them as a kit, and you know, you can recoup some of your money back. You know, next interesting thing I want to do is I want to compare, make a little room here, the new stock to the original stock. So you can see we have 2 stocks in front of us. This is the brand new HS Precision, and this is the original mossy oak plastic stock that the Remington 700 ADL came in, 308, the Varmint edition. So let's just take a look at this one right here. It's plastic. It definitely has a cool camouflage pattern. And this rubber base is nice. I do like that. That's nice and smushy. I mean, for 308, I'm a big guy. I lift a lot of weights. The 308 recoil, I don't think, even if that was a piece of steel, it wouldn't bother me. But this is the interesting part of this stock right here. Make sure we give you a good look. You can see this is all plastic. This is just a molded piece of plastic, this entire stock right here. Even where the bolts go through, those are just plastic bungs right there. There's no metal in any of this stock or fiberglass or plastic. You can see these little holes right here. Those are for your little pivot pins right here for your bipod and your sling right there. You know, it's fine for a hunting rifle. It's definitely a budget stock rifle, but you know, and it's got a little overmolded cheek piece right there, which is pretty cool. But you know, I'm sure I can get some twist out of it if you can see that. Let's see if we can get a good angle. You can probably see me twisting it right there. You know, and I was able to get to touch the barrel just by twisting it. But you know, I'm sure it's come a long way since older stocks of this generation. But you can see, you know, it's just all plastic in there. You know, and the one good thing about that, it is light. There's not a lot of weight behind the stock. Each of this Precision is already about 1 inch longer. The comb on the HS Precision is a little higher. The handles are just about the same. Yeah, they're very similar. The angles and the cutouts are just about the same. That's pretty cool, because they were calling this the HS Precision, the original M24 sniper stock for the military. So, and it does look, you know, it looks correct to that vintage. So here's the HS Precision right here, and this is a fiberglass Kevlar composite stock, and this is a very thick recoil pad right here. You can see I'm pushing into it, and it doesn't give much. But the cool thing about this stock is this right here. There's a full-length aluminum bedding block in here, and this is where it's exposed to mount to the receiver, because in any precision rifle, you just want the receiver bolted, you know, through the bedding block, just the receiver, and you want the barrel free floated. And the bedding block right here will run all the way to the front of the stock, and it will run all the way to the rear. The only thing I don't like about this stock, and I could have had this upgraded, was it only comes with one little pivot right there. So you can either put a sling on it or you're going to put a bipod. I'm going to go for a Harris bipod, just because I don't, you know, I'll carry this rifle in case I'm going to have too much money invested in this to sling it over my shoulder when I'm done. Unless maybe in the future I start competing in some long range matches, then maybe I will. You know, but it is a beautiful stock, and I like the paint job on it. And it's not as heavy as you would think it is, but it's definitely, you know, you're holding quality here, and you can feel the difference holding this HS Precision stock right here than something else. First thing we'll do is we'll go ahead and we're going to dry fit this rifle into the action and see what it looks like. Fits in, which is good. Yes, we like this. Let's take a look at this. This is what I had a problem my first time. Was this gap right here between the barrel and the stock was huge. It was made for like a cannon barrel, but now we have the correct stock and the correct rifle in it. So that's really good, and I'm really happy with this fitment. And you can see the action in here looks really good. You know, it mates up really slick with the stock. And I also want to give Tibiasaurus Rex props on this. He told me to go for HS Precision, that they were very good. And I also called up where I bought this from, was a Red Hawk Rifles, and they did tell me that the Bell & Carlson stocks are nice, but they might require a little bit of fitting, and I really didn't want to get into that. And if you're going to spend money to have the stock fitted, might as well spend a little extra money for the HS Precision that doesn't need to be fitted. And this looks like a pretty smooth fit. Then we'll go ahead and we'll put the magazine body in there, the bottom metal. This looks really nice. So the most important thing is when we're going to clamp all this down is we're going to make sure the receiver and the barrel, as you can see, there's a little bit of slop in here. I want to make sure it's all the way in the back. That way that recoil lug is against the bedding block. You know, so when the rifle fires, and you know, it can't shift back in the stock. It's already at its most rearward position. So that's important. And then once we screw it together, we're going to take a look as far as feeding goes. We're going to put the magazine in there and inspect it. You know, because the big thing here is how the bolt is coming up here, and you want it just to basically kiss the feeding lips right here, you know, so it scoops up around and it feeds around into the chamber, and that's important too. So, but this, I'm told this all should go together pretty well, and that's, you know, I spent a lot of time on the phone with HS Precision, Wyatt, and Red Hawk Rifles, talking to them. I also called it Midway, you know, talking to them. They ran out of these, and I ordered this from Red Hawk Rifles too. You know, basically talking about the fitment and the finish, and I looked at the Badgers, and I looked at the Accuracy Internationals, but you know, I wanted something. I didn't want to spend the money on gunsmith, and I'd rather have something I could put together myself, you know. So let's go ahead and start putting this together. So we've got it all together right here, and we've got our new bolts right here. The long one always goes in the rear of the assembly. The short one's always in the front of the assembly. So we'll go ahead and we will tighten these up right here, and just take your time, go slowly, make sure you don't strip them. Basically what I'm going to do, so now what we're going to do is we're going to stand the rifle up on its end. So we've got the rifle on its end right here, that way the, you know, the weight of the heavy barrel is pushing the action, gravity is helping us. We'll go ahead and tighten these up. That's it. It's tight, and it's all the way, you know, the recoil lug will be all the way back, stopping the action, and that's a bolt together rifle. Looks good too. I'm real happy with this. So the next thing we'd want to do is, you know, confirm the magazine's empty. Insert this magazine in here. That feels good. Make sure it releases, you know, there's no bind in there. Do that twice. It inserts easy, doesn't come out. Magazine seems to be working pretty well. First thing we'll want to make sure is the bolt go in and out. Yeah, it feels smooth. I don't feel it hanging up on anything. And just for demonstration on the camera, we're not going to chamber it, but we have one 308 round right here, and we're just going to show you this stock, and I didn't put any shims in here. I just bolted the assembly right together. We're going to go ahead, and the rifle is empty right now, just to show the functionality of this. I'm really impressed with this whole system. Insert the magazine, it's in there. Chamber is empty. We're going to go ahead, pull the bolt back. I can feel a little more tension on the bolt because that round is pushing up against the bottom of the bolt. Hopefully this comes up good on the camera. There, I can see the round. But I can feel it pushing up, and you can see it. There it goes, just popped up. And you can, hopefully we can see this pretty well here. But you can see it is working very well. And just the top of the round, the rim is catching the bottom of the bolt, and it looks really nice to me. So I'm really happy, and we're not going to put it any more than that. There's no reason to. But you can step of this is we're going to install a Harris bipod on this. And if you've seen my AR video, you've seen the cover photo. I've installed a bipod on here. And you know, Harris is just about one of the best bipods they make, and this came highly recommended to me. And the construction is very sturdy on this. And I believe, I can't remember, but I believe this is 9 inches in the collapse mode, and then it extends up to 16 if I can remember correctly. But it comes in this nice bag. You know, it comes with directions. I've already installed a couple of bipods, so, but you can see there's all your little different mounts you can get. It's a nice colored pamphlet right here. You know, you can install these on ARs, all sorts of rifles, but you're going to need different mounts depending on what, you know, your rifle has. You know, you might have to screw in a stud or put it on a Picatinny rail or a Weaver rail, or sometimes just get a barrel clamp, put it to a barrel. So it just depends what your application is, but I'm lucky that this HS stock comes with a little pivot right there for me. Basically, when you put these in, you have little teeth that go through the bottom right here. That's it. And they're going to open up like a jaw right there. You can see that basically pins through the little hole. You know, basically go ahead and tighten up that bolt right there. You know, that's finger tight, and then, you know, your bipod's on. So make sure the legs, I've done this before, install them backwards. The legs fold forward on bipods. So we'll go ahead and clamp this puppy on and see what it looks like. Yeah, there it's on. So go ahead and finger tighten it. This is the pivoting tripod. Yeah, you can see that pivot. Wow. And then you also have an adjustment for the Harris bipod right here for the pivot. You tighten that down, it's going to tighten up the pivot. And then you loosen it up, it's going to loosen up your pivot. But that's a wrap right there. So let's go ahead and give the barrel and the stock the paper test right here. And this is supposed to work perfect right here. So we got our piece of paper looped around the barrel. Feels perfect so far. There it stops right there. Yeah, that's where it fattens up for the chamber. That's good. This looks like HS Precision Red Hawk rifles. Tibiosaurus Rex on YouTube. Wyatt, they all delivered it. So that's the complete rifle right here. I spent a lot of time making phone calls, you know, making sure all these pieces would fit. And I was going to say, with this final assembly, it all fit. I mean, the first HS Precision stock I got did not fit. The barrel was swimming in there. I'm going to post some pictures of that. This channel right here was too wide, and it looked ridiculous. But this is a sweet looking rifle. I'm really happy with it, and it fits. Looks like the magazine, it functions correctly. Single stack 308, and it feeds, it extracts. Bolt doesn't get hung up on it. Bipod clamped nicely on, looks good on there. The rifle looks like it's going to do what it's supposed to do. So hopefully we'll be able to launch some 308s 1,000 yards downrange with this. But thanks for watching my series, folks. Appreciate it. And if you do like it, you know, don't feel free to hit the like button. Also feel free to subscribe. I'd love to you know, get more subscribers, and you know, let me know if you like them. I'll keep videos like this coming, and I'll, you know, if you like this build, you know, I'd love to do a Remington 7 mag build, and even a 338 Lapua build, you know, as finances present themselves. But thanks for watching, folks.